Welcome to this channel and to the second episode of our Californian Oregon trip. My name is Thomas and I have this channel together with my wife Karina. In the first episode we spent 2 fantastic days in the redwood forests of Northern California. In this episode we leave California and drive along the Oregon coast to the city of Newport. And after that we head inland to Silver Falls State Park with its many waterfalls. This video spans 3 days, and this is how we drove the first day, 400 kilometers from Klamath to Newport. Let's take a look at some of the stops we made along the way. The first was the Samuel H. Boardman State Scenic Corridor, a very beautiful stretch of road where you can make several stops with amazing views, unless it's foggy. But you have to make the best of the weather you have. We still had a long way to drive, so we continued the journey. Slowly but surely the fog lifted and the sun took over. Here are some pictures from various stops we made along the way. One thing we learned from this day was that we should have had an overnight stay halfway to Newport. There was so much to see, but not enough time. Another recommendation is to go south, if possible. You get closer to the sea and it will be easier to make stops along the way.
Skönt att komma fram nu, va? Från 8:30 i morse.
Newport is a charming town on the coast and it's located 200 kilometers from Portland, Oregon's capital. The city has Oregon's largest fishing fleet and an active and lively harbor. A workplace for fishermen, but also a popular tourist area. There are plenty of charming old houses and several shops and restaurants. Something that is impossible to miss is a large and noisy colony of sea lions.
Med tanke på hur mycket de här sälarna låter, och de lät liksom jättemycket igår kväll också. Vi var ute ganska sent här. Så skulle jag inte vilja bo på det här hotellet.
Newport also has a lively art scene, which is clearly visible in several places in the city, not at least at the harbor. We didn't have time to explore many places to eat during our visit to Newport, but the food at this brewery was really good. We highly recommend it. The historic Yaquina Bay Lighthouse is located right by the eye-catching and beautiful bridge. The lighthouse is now a small but well-maintained museum where you can see how the lighthouse keeper's family lived. The value of the visit is increased by the fact that it's located in a beautiful place where you can walk down to the beach with its rolling sand dunes. There we had the great honor of greeting a mantis. A little later that day we visited the more modern lighthouse, Ukina Head Lighthouse. To visit the cape where the lighthouse stands, you need to pay a small fee, but it's worth it. It's a dramatic place, and when we visited, very windy. To watch the rich bird life is very interesting, not least all the pelicans. The last area we visited in Newport was Nye Beach, which is located by the beach of the same name. We were here at dusk on a Sunday evening, so it was a bit quiet. Nye Beach has some shops, but is also the area that has the most restaurants in Newport. It's also here and nearby that you will find most of the hotels. This was our last night in Newport. From Newport to Silver Falls State Park it's 160 kilometers, so it's fine to do a day trip there from Newport. But we were heading for Bend, so Silver Falls was a stop on the way. Now we have begun the hike at Silver Falls State Park, and this is the first waterfall. Silver Falls State Park has 10 waterfalls, and the hike is 12 kilometers and takes about 4 hours to walk. But it's not that demanding. If you want, you can take a shortcut, but then you miss two of the most beautiful and spectacular waterfalls.
Det var inget dåligt ställe att ta en dryckespaus på. Kolla in trädet. Juhu.
This is the North Fall, and it's really big. Now we are on our way to Upper North Falls. It's not the largest waterfall, but perhaps the most beautiful. Here you can stop and have a coffee and wait for an opportunity to take some nice pictures.
Ser det lite annorlunda ut när solen har kommit, Thomas? Med ljusben. Coolt.
Now we are approaching the end of the hike, and then it might be a good time to show how we have walked. Before we end this video, we would like to thank you for watching. Feel free to ask questions, and if you have been to these places, please tell us about your trip. Our channel is new, so we would be very happy if you'd like to support us by subscribing to the channel and staying tuned for the next part of this journey.